Napoli fans around the world, welcome to today's preview of Verona against Napoli. Napoli are fresh champions of the Coppa Italia. Enthusiasm is high, but our opponents, Verona, are very difficult to beat. So we will be looking at Verona and what we can expect from them before we look at our formation and what we can expect for the rest of the season. Are we going to be able to challenge for that last Champions League spot before ultimately making a prediction on the game? So if we take a look at Verona, they played against Cagliari Saturday night, and what an impressive performance. They absolutely dominated the first half an hour. They went 2-0 up very quickly, and they were so solid. When Cagliari were attacking, they defended with 7, and they had one person chasing the ball, and they left 2 people up top to start quick counterattacks. And when they did attack, they were so dangerous. They put so many men forward. You could tell from these 2 pictures that they had 4 people in the box at any given point when a cross was ready to come in, and sometimes 1 at the edge of the area picking up any loose balls. And that's exactly how they scored their first goal. And what was also very impressive was their central midfielder Amrabat's performance. He had great vision and skill throughout the game, and that really allowed Verona to build play very nicely. I do think though that Cagliari gave him too much space, and so it will be super important for Napoli to make sure that they close down that space and don't let him play. If we can do that, then I think we can come away with a win in that game. But let's not underestimate Verona. If we look at what they did against the 2 big teams this season, they drew 0-0 against Lazio, but had almost equal amounts of possession, and then they beat Juventus 2-1 at home. They had 12 shots and again almost similar amounts of possession. So they won't be sitting back. They will come at Napoli, and we have to be very solid in defense as well. And this takes me to Napoli's formation. So I think in goal we'll have Ospina. Seems to be like that's Gattuso's favorite. In defense, I think will be the same as what we had against Juve. And then in midfield, we have Zielinski and Demme, who are both 1 booking away from being suspended. So one of them will get rested, in my opinion. I do think it will be Zielinski, and in his place will be Alan, again, because we need to make sure that we're very solid in midfield and we're closing down Amrabat in Verona a lot, and Alan is very good at that. In attack, I think we'll be starting with Insigne on the left, Milik up top. Make sure we have the muscle in the area to counter those 7 defenders of Verona. And on the right, we will have Politano, who seemed very lively against Juventus and Inter. So what does this game actually mean for Napoli and the rest of their season? So we know we already qualified for the Europa League spot, but are we going to be able to challenge for a Champions League spot? I think Atalanta will drop points, and that is because this is almost like a start of a new season, and Atalanta have been known to start very slowly. They lose a lot of points at the start because the type of game they play requires a lot of athleticism and physicality. So they will struggle in the first few games coming after this lockdown, and they might drop some points. On the other hand, Roma in 5th, they've got a lot of issues in the background with the club, and so I think they will also drop some points because of that. But if we go back to how Napoli will play against Verona, I think it will be a very different strategy from what we had against Inter and Juve, which was sit back and counter. I think in this game, we'll try to attack Verona. We'll try to be a lot more aggressive from the start. So it'll be a very different game. Hopefully very exciting. In terms of the score, it's not up to me to decide. As you guys know, I'm always going to be objective about this. And I've decided that today I want to play a bit of FIFA. So let's see what the gods of FIFA will decide.
Well, this is the setting for our featured match today. Welcome to you. It's Verona against Napoli. Insigne. Well, here's an opportunity with the ball over the top. Just to keep it to beat. What a chance to open the scoring.
It's been fairly tight. That was by far the best chance so far.
What are you doing?
Oh, he's cut that out well read.
Come on. Yes, we got it. Yes.
They could be in
score.
behind the back line. Good save. Alan.
Let's counter. Oh, what a bad ball. Oh, wait. Yes!
And he's done it. Goal!
Actually, he's 9/10.
Pass threaded through.
Insigne.
Players arriving in the middle.
Yes!
2 in front now.
Well, keep the concentration, and they've won this match, I think.
Yes.
Brune. Could make a chance with this tackle. You can see what he skimmed the top of the bar here.
I think the keeper was...
And the referee blows for one last time.
So there you have it, guys. 2-0 to Napoli against Verona. Hit that like button if you want that to be the case, and subscribe to see the game review afterwards. And sempre forza Napoli!